Alright guys, I got another video for you. This is going to be a review of, this is going to be bottom spawn of Summit defensive positioning. And this is as defensive as you can get, really. It's going to be really simple, pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy about it. Really, you have 5 ways that they can get you. We're going to be playing from the spawn pretty much when we're defensive over here. So you have the left over here, which is this pathway access around the corner here of green building. And then we're going to have the, we're going to call this green right here, this entrance going through the building here. And then you have the center of the map, obviously, right to the center 2 buildings. And then you have one building. This is what we're going to refer to here, because this is one building, as you can see. And then you have the right side, so, or cliff side. Pretty much, I mean, there's really not a ton you can go over. You're going to post up guns on every spot, and we're going to have an extra body to build and to look where needed. Ideally, I think if we have one guy play back here as maybe the fill guy or the utility guy, this would probably be the most useful spot for him. Just playing right here alone, I can cover for center and one building. I can turn quickly and actually see left as well, and I can see green easily as well. So I mean, I think this is a good spot for our utility guy, or our Overwatch or fill player. As far as playing the left, lots of things you can do. I guess you could play from the platform itself right here. Just be aware that there is an angle at from the balcony up top of the center building here where I'm looking right now. So if you are going to play over here, just be careful that you're not exposed or you're looking for that player up there. You could also play that angle from, found a spot over here earlier, it's probably going to be actually safer. You jump on top of the railing and then you shoot over the boxes here, and you can look at the left side. This would probably be a safer angle. You're not exposed to anything. I mean, if you got shot through the building here, it would be complete luck, complete random. So this would be a way to cover left as well. As far as covering green building, this is always a solid spot right here. You kind of just crouch next to these barrels and you can see this. You could also play up top of them as well. Obviously, once you break the glass, it's a little easy to see. So this is always a solid position to play from. I wouldn't come out here so much and play it, as you're obviously exposed to center when you do that. I guess you could kind of crouch and maybe switch it up from time to time, but honestly I think you're better off just kind of playing from right here, and then maybe at times, depending on the match it's coming up and actually playing for the green building, maybe throwing them off and kind of waiting right here. You can shoot right through this if you have FMJ. As far as covering the center, best angle I found to do that is actually just way back here on the crates. There we go. You can play anywhere on top. I mean, if you're on the right side of these crates, looking down, you have more of a straight, longer shot, looking all the way down the center. If you kind of creep over to the left, you can actually cut it off to the point where they can't see you until they actually get past, that first shed and have to come out and come to the right, and then it just gives you a little bit of different angle to play from. Switching it up just a little bit like that sometimes, though, can be a game changer. Obviously, you can only play this depending on how we're playing left, though. If we're playing, let's say, from the railing position like I went over, probably can't play here. You could play from a little farther right as you're covered, but the farther you sneak out left, obviously you expose yourself. So make sure you're aware of where your left player is playing from. So that's the center. The one building, this is probably the trickiest, trickier spot to play, or to figure out how to play. You could always play it from back here, like where I was saying, maybe to have the utility guy, or you could just play it a little more straightforward and have a guy right here. This could be a good shield position, as there's not a ton of great angles to play from. Perhaps your best angle would be back here on the stairs and just kind of post it up right here. We'll just kind of have to figure it out and feel it out in game to see what works best. This is probably the spot that we're going to double cover most of the game. Like, for instance, having this guy here, having the one player here, and then having the utility player maybe back here by the silo, like I was saying, crossing it up, having 2 guns looking down there. The right side or the cliff side, I mean, I feel like you could play from up here if you want. Switch it up on them. I wouldn't play over here too often, as we're not really covering one building usually in a way in which we can stop players from jumping down on you. So you'll have to be aware that they can come out here, they can come out high left because of the stairs here, and they can come out low in front of you and you know, closer up, and then a little farther back behind the pillar, as well as, let me go back here so I can show you. Back here as well, they can actually kind of get behind that rock and get an angle on you from there as well. So lots of different ways you can get shot over here. Not saying you can't play up this far. You're just going to be quick on the trigger and kind of know when it's time to pull back, you know, and once you're getting a little bit too much heat. If you are going to play over here, I think playing over top might be the best way to do it. If you go this way, you can't exactly cover anybody jumping off of one. And then if you're playing on this side of it, this is doable, but again, I think when people turn the corner, you're going to be more easily seen like that. If you're actually backed up a little bit and playing over top, I think you're going to have a better chance of catching people off guard. Anyways, that's literally it. So you have a right or a cliffside player, one building player, center, green, and left, and then you're going to have that extra utility player who will most likely, more than not, be double covering one building. Again, obviously, this guy will also have to be the fill player. If any position goes down, he's going to be the guy to fill. Yeah, and that pretty much does it. Again, this, you know, real simple, really basic, as defensive as you can get on this map, but it's something that we can at least start with and at least work with.